Alright peeps, here is my top 5 beginner rider motorbiking tips. Let's go! Right fellow beginner pudlings. Yes, I did refer to you as beginner pudlings because it's very much aimed at beginner riders is this one. Seeing as though I have only been riding a bike, I only sat on a bike for the first time 8 months ago. I thought I'd not sum up my experience, but the wisdom I have gained from my 8 months experience of riding, I'd like to sprinkle it over all you beautiful little bitches, especially those who are either, you know, right at the start of their journey, even earlier than me, or those who are considering starting the plunge, taking the plunge, should I say, into motorbiking, and who knows, even motovlogging, but there'll be no motovlogging related stuff on this one. If you do want that though, that'd be cool. I could do that. And I just want to say, all the tips I go through in this, all 5, are very much going to be from personal experience. So things I've found help me. I know you'll probably get a lot of repetitiveness as you're looking through the videos of, you know, do this, do this, do this, do this. But these are the things that I really have learned. And this is going to be sort of a year-round thing because I commute on my bike. So I've ridden my bike all through winter. So I've come to learn the struggles of that as well. So tip number 1. Well, my tip number 1 for you is basically the one way you are going to get better at motorbiking and more confident. Motorbike. Go out and ride. It doesn't matter where you're going, if you pop into the shops or whether you want to go through a full 3-hour ride through the Yorkshire Dales. Okay? Which I am yet to do, even 8 months in, even though I'm from Yorkshire. I found that by going out riding, you almost start to teach yourself things anyway, and by doing that, it's meant that when I've then moved on from the 125 to the bigger bikes to do my tests and stuff, all your gearing, all your braking, your weight distribution, it's all already second nature. So all you've got to basically learn is getting used to the different weight of the bike and the different power output, and then you're fine and dandy. Which could, I don't know if it's the reason, but it could definitely be a contributing factor as to why I passed both tests first time. Subtle flex. Because by doing so too, I've had those few sketchy moments. You know, I've had those few sketchy moments where I thought I can take a bit more speed into a corner, but then I get mid-corner and then I'm like, shit, I need to slow down. I can't lean really further into it. I need to tap the brakes, you know? So moments like that are the ones that, woo, yeah, they definitely make the old sphincter squeeze. But yeah, that's my first way of growing as a biker, getting more confident. So that's tip number 1 of 5. Skadoosh, done, boom, well done. Right, tip number 2, numero dos. Okay, so this one's a smaller one. This one's not as fun, I'll definitely say, as just going out riding your bike anywhere and anytime you want. But this one's general sort of maintenance. I've had to do this based on the fact that I've ridden through the winter. Cleaning your chain, you know, changing your oil, things like that are stuff you just need to do. So I'm not sure exactly how often you should change your oil. I don't know if it's every few thousand miles. I am yet to actually do an oil change because my bike's only on, what, 1,300 miles, and I got it when it had 300 on it and it just had an oil change, I think. I don't know why they did an oil change at that point, but oh, actually I've just hit 1,400 on the mileage count. I have done quite a lot of chain cleaning though over the winter because the amount of shite that's down on the roads through winter, you go out on one ride, you know, even dry rides get it dirty as it is, but you go out on one wet ride, everything just sticks to it like an absolute plague. A plague. And if you look at other brethren, they definitely advise the same. So even after like every wet ride through the winter, hose the bike down. Jesus, hose the bike down. Because I've tried to keep up on top of the general maintenance and cleaning it as much as humanly possible. And even some little bits like the foot brake, still little bits of rust starting to appear and things like that. So I'm aware it's a little bit more of a boring one, but it is something that you're going to have to get used to with owning a motorbike, especially if you're riding through the winter. Just get on top of the maintenance and you'll be fine. Right, I'm going to keep that one pretty short and sweet because it's sort of a no-brainer one. I'll move on to the things you probably want to hear about a little bit more. So we've got the riding, practicing. We've got the maintenance side of things. So now I'm going to briefly move on to safety side of things. Jesus Christ, whatever you do, get kitted up. Please, 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 please. Kit up. I mean, I can't talk because I've not got the full kit. I've got jeans on, but I'm talking, you know, helmet, protect your extremities. I can't say that. Oh! Embarrassing moment, try to set off in second gear. What a cockbag. Never mind. At least there's not 70 subscribers-ish that have just seen that. Because I'll leave it in. Fuck it. What am I doing? Oh man, no patience whatsoever. Little bitch, little fool. So yeah, whatever you do, gear up, get the best helmet you can possibly afford, without obviously totally breaking the bank, but have a budget. I'd say anything sort of north of 100 quid should be pretty decent. That should be a very safe certified helmet. I've mentioned in previous videos the price of mine. I think mine was about 150 when I bought that, and it's serving me brilliantly. If you want to check out all the gear I've got, check out my gear, basically outlining all the gear I've got, and that's fairly entry level is all the gear I've decided to purchase. So you should be all gravy, but try and aim for basically the similar. I found pants less of a necessity, but that was only because of budget. The pants are definitely going to be coming. So I'm going to keep that one pretty concise as well, because again, I think that's probably another boring one that's a bit like, yeah, I need to do that, I need to do it. It's more of a checklist rather than tips on what to do. But yeah, add gear up to the list. If you've not got it, gear up properly. And number 4 on the list. Bachelor number 4, please. My coccyx well hurts, man. I don't know what I've done. Yeah, my coccyx. Sorry, back to tip number 4. That wasn't tip number 4, by the way. So I personally think that this is one of the most important things you can possibly do, no matter what the value of your bike or how important it is to you. Security for your bike is imperative. Jeez, please, lock those bikes up. You'll have seen my previous absolute rant on bike thieves, and I hate the fact you've got to lock your bike up so securely, but oh my word, please do it. Drop in the comments if you want me to do a video outlining what security measures you can take to, you know, better secure your bike and make sure it doesn't get robbed. But currently what I've got is I've got an Oxford rain cover. It's stored in basically a fenced location. I've got a ground anchor to the wall, not the ground. A thick ass Oxford chain that runs through the front forks through the ground anchor. Chaining to your wheels, not always the best bet because that's the 2 easiest parts that they can get off. If you've got to chain it to a wheel, chain it to your back wheel because it's harder to get off than the front. But try and get it through your frame if possible. I also have an alarmed chain lock tied between mine and another bike, and I am about to purchase a disc lock because I even have been watching the tips on how to secure my bike even better, and I think a disc lock will just be a great way of making sure that even if they do snip the chain, they'll have to drag the bike or lift the bike because it ain't rolling in those wheels. But again, like I said, they could take the wheels off, so it's not always great. And if you're out and about, you know, you stop off for a Costa coffee, whatever you fancy doing, try and keep your bike in sight and out of mind, Because if you can see it, you don't have to worry about it. And if you see anyone trying to rob it, you can go up to them and kick them in the balls. Unless it's a woman. But still, kick her in the balls. And I must admit, when I was coming into biking, that was the side of biking that I was terrified of. Like, you see him with the mullet. He could steal your bike, you just never know. Especially with a mullet like that. That mullet could give him superpowers, you just never know. How have mullets come back? I don't quite understand that. Comment if you've got a mullet. Oh, quick call to action. Subscribe, please. Legends. Oh, I'm going to ride past Mr. Mullet. So you're practicing, you're getting better on your bike. You're geared up, so you're protected on your bike. If you fall off, that is. Your bike's well maintained, so it's likely it's not going to break down on you, which is brilliant. So you're riding around reliably. When you stop and you park up, your bike's not going to get nicked, because you've secured it. But now I think this is probably the most important thing you can know or do when you own a motorbike and you ride a motorbike to stay safe. Oh, we're going to get a brethren nod. We're going to get a brethren nod. Yes, boys! Nice mullet. Hands down, the most important thing to keep you on this, ride defensively. Honestly, now this is one that you will have heard a lot. You'll have heard this one a lot, but seriously, I listened to all the tips. This is the one it was ingrained to me. Do it, do it, do it. Ride like everyone else on the road is trying to kill you. And so far, I've had a few close calls, but just by riding like that has meant I've avoided everything that has almost happened. Did she just blow a kiss? That was weird. She said sorry to the lass because she crossed the crossing and she blew her a kiss. She went, oh, sorry. Weird. Oh my god, it's like Dave Grohl. Yeah! Yeah, seriously, ride like someone's trying to kill you, or everyone's trying to kill you, should I say. Because they don't give a... Let's be fair, they don't give a shit. They don't look for bikes. They're not bothered. And if they nearly kill you, they'll go, oh, I didn't see ya. Alright, yeah, that's a good enough excuse. What are you going to say if I'm a pancake dead on floor? Oh, I didn't see you, sorry. And I'll respond with this. You know, because I'm dead. Don't ride tentatively, like you're always on edge, but always just make sure no one's going to kill you. That's probably the best I've had. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you as many tips as I want about how to ride better, how to maybe brake better, but they're all sort of like further down the line. You'll learn them as you're learning the bike. And I could do one that's like goes a little bit more in depth. But I think the main thing is, if your beginner tips are how to obviously gradually get better on the bike, stay protected if you get hit or if you fall off the bike, make sure the bike don't get stolen, because there's a lot of dodgy people out there, yeah? And unfortunately you're not allowed to go at them with a machete, which they are more likely to come at you, to be fair. Your bike's properly maintained, so it's less trips to the garage, and that all important one is keeping you safe, making sure you aren't getting into incidents, making sure you are safe on the bike, because that's the main thing. And as a beginner, I think that can go over some people's heads. Not everyone's, obviously. A lot of people are sensible, but that can go over a lot of people's heads. And I'm just here to say, as the beginner, as a newbie, that is probably one of the most important things you can possibly do. Let me know if you found any of those helpful. Let me know if you've not heard them before on the beginner tips, because I've tried to, like I said, I've tried to tailor make it, you know, and I've done it based on experience, you know. I could also go into a few extras, like, you know, be wary of your road conditions, wet grates, that's another thing, you know, paint on the roads. But I think as a beginner, the fundamentals are, yeah, get better, stay safe, keep your bike well and with you. The glamorous side to owning a dog. Walking around with a bag of shit. At least you can throw it at people if they get out of line. So yeah, thank you for watching again. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you're enjoying. Share with all your friends. And yeah, if you subscribe, you are officially one of the pudlings. Now let's grow this community. Just a bunch of pudlings following the one pudling. The one pudling. One pudling to rule them all. Cool. Top 5. My first top 5. Maybe there'll be more. Let me know if you want more. See ya. Peace.